We're here in Garden, and as you know, they released this new mutation called the Celestial mutation, which is the most expensive mutation that you could get on your fruits, which is a times 125 multiplier on the fruit. Now on top of that, you could also get a bunch of other mutations. So what we're going to be attempting to do here, we're going to be trying to get an expensive candy blossom, since candy blossom is the most expensive fruit, and it's obviously very easy, but I might be wrong. I think the mushroom might be a little bit more expensive, but of course the seeds is just a one-time thing. You won't be able to constantly keep collecting mushrooms. Once you collect the mushroom, you'll need to go keep on buying seeds, which obviously the seeds are pretty hard to find on stock. And also with this new favoriting tool, as you can see right over here, we have this favoriting tool, which we're going to be favoriting all the gold and rainbow candy blossoms, only those ones. So we're going to constantly be collecting the regular ones like these ones right here, and then we're going to just leave the gold candy blossoms and rainbow ones. We also do have a master sprinkler, so we are going to place down this master sprinkler. I only have one, sadly, so hopefully we're able to get more shortly here, so then we could obviously keep on placing them down. But yeah, we're going to be trying to get a very expensive candy blossom. Currently the most expensive candy blossom that I do have, which I recently did got, was the Celestial chilled gold candy blossom, which weighs a total of 7 kg. If you go over here to the sell area and you go see how much this is worth, this is worth 2.2 billion shekels. So it's actually this one, the Celestial gold candy blossom with no chilled mutation, which weighs 9k, costs 2.2 billion shekels. That is very expensive. This is the most expensive candy blossom that I've gotten, and I know I could get even a way more higher one. You are able to stack different types of mutations, so not just that, but if we do get a rainbow candy blossom, that's even going to be way more expensive. So we do already have here lightning around, so obviously we could get the shock mutation, because if we got the shock mutation on top of that, the one that I just showed right here, who knows how expensive this would have been. But yeah, that's the whole point of the whole video today. We're gonna constantly keep collecting these regular ones and fill up the whole tree with a bunch of gold and rainbow candy blossoms, and probably at the end of the video is when I'm going to collect all the gold ones and rainbow ones, and we're going to be seeing which one is obviously the most expensive one, and hopefully we get a very expensive one. Obviously this is going to be take some time to do, because obviously we need to wait for a thunder event and the meteor shower event, which obviously those events don't really happen very often. It's pretty rare to see one, so hopefully luck is on our side today. It's been like 12 hours later, and as you can see, a bunch of my candy blossoms have been shocked. I think I got like a total of like 2 rainbow candy blossoms. As you can see right there, there's one of them. So we're going to be collecting all these candy blossoms. We're going to be seeing which one's the most expensive, and obviously if there really isn't one here that's really expensive, we're gonna go ahead, try again, favorite a bunch of gold and rainbow candy blossoms, and then wait for it to be shocked and get the Celestial mutation. We're not gonna collect these ones because this one I really bad wanted to get shocked, and as you can see, it's not shocked. I don't think it has been a thunder event, so we are gonna just leave that there until those get shocked, because as you can see, these candy blossoms are pretty huge. The bigger the candy blossom, the more expensive it is gonna be, so we're gonna just save those right there, but we're gonna collect everything else. Hopefully we get very expensive candy blossom. So we have our first batch of candy blossoms. Our inventory is full, so as you can see, we have a bunch of candy blossoms, so we're only gonna focus here on the gold ones. So right here we have a Celestial frozen gold candy blossom, not shocked, sadly, so this probably not gonna be worth too much. I mean, 1.2 billion is still a lot, but that's not what we're looking for. Now this right here is what we're looking for. This has the Celestial frozen shock mutation. You know, one thing I forgot to do is put the chocolate sprinkler as well, which we're gonna do right now. This also weighs 17 kg. We're gonna see the price on this. How much is this worth? This is worth 16 billion shekels. Just if I put the chocolate sprinkler on this candy blossom, this I think would have been like 30+ billion shekels. That is insane. 16 billion shekels on this. We're gonna favor that. Right here we have a Celestial frozen shocked candy blossom. I don't think this is worth 250 million, not too expensive. This candy blossom right here is a bloodless Celestial moonlit frozen candy blossom. Let's see how much expensive this one is. This is 150 million. So we have here another gold candy blossom. Sadly this one isn't shocked. We're gonna see the price of this is probably gonna be a billions. Yeah, 2.3 billion. We're gonna favor that one. That is all the candy blossoms that we did got. I'm still so disappointed that I did not put the chocolate sprinkler on this. This would have been double the value of this. I think I could be wrong, but so far this is the most expensive item that I have got, the candy blossom, which is worth 16 billion shekels. That is insane. We're gonna sell our entire inventory. We're gonna see how much money we made. Actually, we have one more candy blossom here, which I'm just now noticing. We have a rainbow celestial frozen shocked candy blossom, which weighs a total of 5 kg. We also do have here a celestial frozen shocked rainbow eggplant. First, we're gonna check the price of this eggplant. It's not the whole point of the video, but this is worth 1.4 billion shekels. Now let's check the price on this. This is a rainbow candy blossom. Let's see how expensive this one is. This is worth 4 billion shekels. That is insane. So we're gonna sell our entire inventory. Who knows how much money I have in our inventory. We made a total of 12 billion. And we still have quite a bit of candy blossoms, as you can see right here. We're gonna place the chocolate sprinkler before we do forget, and there it is. So we're gonna collect everything else that we haven't collected, and we're gonna see the price on the rest of the candy blossoms. We have a bit of candy blossoms here. We have some chocolate now, so we're gonna check this one. This one has the chocolate celestial frozen gold candy blossom. Let's see how much this one's worth. This one's worth 1.4 billion. We have a chocolate celestial frozen shocked candy blossom. Not too much on the way here, but it is worth 600 million. We have another chocolate celestial frozen shocked candy blossom. This one is worth 4 billion shekels. We also do have here a beanstalk, which is not part of the video, but it is the chocolate bloodlit celestial moonlit, which is worth at 4.7 billion shekels. We have some crazy stuff here in our inventory. So that's basically I think I still have a couple more candy blossoms that we're gonna collect. We're gonna sell our entire inventory to see how much money we made. 14 billion shekels. That is insane. I think that's basically it. I don't think I have anything else except obviously apart from these two gold candy blossoms right here, which I think if it does get the shock mutation, it might be the exact same price as the candy blossom that costed 16 billion shekels. So we obviously have to just wait for this to get shocked. I don't think there has been a thunder event, but we're still going to be trying to get an even more expensive candy blossom, because imagine if we get a celestial frozen shocked rainbow candy blossom with that weighs like 20 kg. That's going to be like 50 billion shekels. That's going to be insane. We just made 30 billion shekels from selling all of that. That is kind of insane. But I'll be back in a couple of hours once I obviously of course have more gold and rainbow candy blossoms grown here, and I also will have to wait for it to of course be shocked and have the celestial mutation. So I'll be back once that's all done. It's been a very long time, and as you can see I have a bunch of more gold and rainbow candy blossoms, and as you can see this big gold candy blossom right here. We're going to be collecting this big gold candy blossom right here. Is a shock that barely just rejoined a new server, but it's not showing that it's shocked. But before I rejoined the server, it was obviously shocked because the whole thing was like this right over here, this candy blossom. So we're gonna be collecting here everything, but before we even forget, we have to put down the chocolate sprinkler because last time we forgot, and obviously we could have made this even more expensive. So before we even begin, we're gonna start off over here. As you can see, if you guys remember, we didn't collect these gold candy blossoms here because we were waiting for it to get shocked, and it did got shocked. So we're gonna collect these candy blossoms right here. So over here we have a chocolate frozen shocked gold candy blossom. Sadly, this one does not have the celestial mutation, but it does cost 1.8 billion shekels. But this one right here has the chocolate celestial frozen shocked gold candy blossom. Let's see the price of this one right here. This goes for 12 billion shekels. That is insane. We have another one over here, chocolate celestial frozen shocked candy blossom, but this one weighs a little, which is probably not going to be worth a lot. Yeah, 400 million. We have here another chocolate celestial frozen shocked candy blossom, which goes for 10 billion shekels. That is insane how expensive these things are, but it's not more expensive than the 16 billion one. And then lastly here we have a rainbow one, and the price of this one goes for 2 billion shekels, and we just made 10 billion. Now we're gonna go on and collect these ones right over here. So we have more gold candy blossoms here. Let's check the price on these ones. We have here another chocolate celestial frozen shocked candy blossom, and this one goes for 11 billion shekels. So we didn't got anything. It's really too expensive. This one right here cost 2 billion shekels. We're just gonna sell our entire inventory again, and we made a total 44 billion shekels out of just that. That is insane. Lastly, the last thing that we do need to collect is this big candy blossom right here, which hopefully is going to be the most expensive candy blossom out of the other one that costed obviously of course 16 billion shekels. So we're gonna go over here. So right here we have a chocolate celestial frozen Shock Golden Candy Blossom. I'm 100% sure this is going to be way more expensive. As you can see, this weighs a total of 57 kg. As you can see right here, this candy blossom right here that I'm currently holding is the one that we are trying to beat, which is 16 billion shekels. This weighs a total of 17 kg. I don't know how expensive this is going to be, but we're going to go over here and we're going to check the price of this. I'm 100% certain that this is going to be way more expensive. And this one goes for 170 billion shekels. That is insane. I was not expecting that at all. This candy blossom right here that I'm currently holding goes for 170 billion shekels. Let's take a look at that one more time if I read that right. 170 billion. That is almost more money than I currently have in my inventory. 170 billion shekels. That is insane. I was not expecting a candy blossom to go up this expensive. The crazy thing is, this is just a gold candy blossom. Imagine if I got a rainbow one exactly like this. That probably would have been like over 500 billion shekels. But look at this candy blossom. I think this is the highest weighted candy blossom that I got ever since candy blossoms came in the game. Second biggest candy blossom that I have gotten, which is 51, almost 52 kg. This one I'm pretty sure I got very early on in the game when the candy blossom seed barely came out, and I did kind of got lucky that I got a gold candy blossom that weighs 57 kg. That is insane. The amount of money I made in this video is crazy. I wasn't expecting a candy blossom to go this expensive. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I was expecting a candy blossom to be like 20-30 billion, not 170 billion. But the crazier thing is that you could even get an even more expensive candy blossom. This is not even the most expensive one that you could get. And if we sell out our inventory, we're gonna make another 10 billion shekels. I don't even know how much money I made in this video, but it's an insane amount of money that I've made. But yeah, with this new star color, new celestial mutation, it's definitely crazy. I don't even need this much money in this game, honestly. But this is the most expensive candy blossom that I got, which is a chocolate celestial frozen shock gold candy blossom that weighs 57.89 kg, and it also has the chocolate mutation, which gives the ×2 multiplier, which is definitely clutch of me having those chocolate sprinklers, so this could be even more expensive. But yeah, that is the whole video. That is the candy blossom. This is pretty huge candy blossom with the frozen mutation as well. This candy blossom literally had perfect mutations that I needed on. I was kind of scared that I didn't have the celestial mutation. A good thing it did had it, or else this would have not been this expensive. It probably would have been more expensive than 16 billion, but it probably would have not been anywhere near 170 billion.